Messi's historic night and Algeria's shock response. The opening week of the World Cup appeared to deliver one of those unforgettable football stories that fans talk about for years. Argentina secured a comfortable 3-0 victory over Algeria, and the spotlight naturally fell on Lionel Messi. The veteran superstar produced a remarkable performance, scoring all three goals and matching a long-standing World Cup scoring milestone. For many observers, the evening seemed destined to become a celebration of football greatness. A legendary player, possibly appearing in his final World Cup, had once again demonstrated why he is considered one of the finest footballers ever to play the game. The result looked decisive, the performance looked complete, and the headlines appeared written. However, the discussion surrounding the match changed dramatically only a few days later. Instead of accepting the defeat and moving forward, the Algerian Football Federation decided to take official action. The federation reportedly submitted a formal complaint to FIFA, questioning several refereeing decisions that occurred during the match. This was not an emotional reaction shared through interviews or social media. It was an official document sent directly to football's governing body through established procedures. According to reports, the complaint focused on two major incidents from the first half. Algerian officials argued that both situations involved actions by Argentine players that should have received stronger punishment from the match officials. The first incident involved a challenge by Messi on defender Isamandi. Replays showed contact between the players, and while the referee awarded a foul, no card was issued. VAR reviewed the situation but chose not to recommend any further action. Algeria believes the challenge should have been examined more seriously and argues that the laws of the game may not have been applied correctly. Why Algeria's complaint matters. To understand why this protest has attracted so much attention, it is important to look beyond the match itself. Algeria's federation is not simply arguing that a few decisions went against them. Their complaint suggests that critical moments during a World Cup match may have been handled inconsistently, despite the presence of technology designed to reduce human error. From Algeria's perspective, the issue is larger than one defeat. Officials reportedly believe that if the incidents had been reviewed differently, the balance of the match could have changed significantly. Playing against a team reduced to 10 men often creates entirely different tactical situations. The Federation argues that such possibilities deserve serious consideration whenever controversial decisions occur. What makes the situation even more notable is that this is not the first time Algeria has formally challenged officiating decisions. In recent years, the Federation has repeatedly used official channels to question refereeing performances in major competitions. Previous complaints followed important international matches where Algerian officials felt that key decisions had influenced the outcome. Because of that history, many observers see the latest complaint as part of a broader pattern rather than an isolated reaction. Whether people agree with Algeria's arguments or not, the Federation has consistently chosen formal procedures instead of limiting its concerns to public criticism. The timing is also important. During the opening days of the tournament, several other refereeing and VAR decisions generated debate among fans, analysts, and former players. Discussions about transparency, consistency, and interpretation of the rules became common across football media. As a result, Algeria's complaint entered an environment where questions about officiating were already receiving significant attention. The Federation's decision added an institutio, the bigger debate around VAR. Since its introduction, VAR has been promoted as a tool designed to improve accuracy and reduce major refereeing mistakes. The technology allows officials to review important incidents, including goals, penalties, red cards, and cases of mistaken identity. In theory, the system exists to ensure that crucial moments are judged as fairly as possible. Yet every major tournament seems to produce new debates about how VAR should be used. Critics often argue that technology is only as effective as the people operating it. Different referees may interpret identical incidents in different ways, creating confusion among players and supporters. This is one of the reasons why Algeria's complaint has attracted attention. The federation is not only questioning specific decisions, but also raising concerns about consistency. If similar incidents are judged differently from match to match, confidence in the system can be affected. Supporters of VAR point out that football remains a fast-moving sport filled with subjective decisions. Not every challenge, collision, or physical confrontation produces a clear answer. Referees must still make judgments based on what they see and how they interpret the laws of the game. Opponents, however, believe that major incidents should receive greater transparency. They argue that fans deserve clearer explanations whenever controversial decisions influence important matches. Greater communication, they say, would help reduce confusion and increase trust in the process. As debates continue, governing bodies face a difficult challenge. They must protect referees from unfair criticism while also ensuring accountability when mistakes occur. Achieving that balance remains one of football's most complicated tasks. The controversy surrounding Algeria's complaint therefore extends beyond one result. What happens next? The immediate future of this case depends on FIFA's internal review process. Whenever a member federation submits a formal complaint, the relevant departments examine the material provided and assess whether any further action is required. This process typically includes reviewing match reports, video footage, and the decisions made by the officiating team. Historically, however, completed match results are rarely changed. Football authorities have generally maintained that once a match has concluded and the result has been officially recorded, overturning that outcome would create significant complications for tournaments and competitions. Because of that precedent, most observers believe that the scoreline itself is unlikely to be affected. Argentina's victory is expected to remain part of the tournament record regardless of any subsequent discussions. That does not mean the complaint lacks importance. Official protests become part of the tournament's documented history and can influence future conversations about refereeing standards. They may also contribute to internal evaluations regarding referee appointments and VAR procedures for upcoming matches. For Algerian supporters, the complaint represents an effort to ensure that their concerns are formally acknowledged. For FIFA, it presents another opportunity to demonstrate transparency and consistency in the administration of the game. Meanwhile, attention will continue to focus on the tournament itself. As the competition progresses into its later stages, every decision becomes more significant. Every mistake attracts greater scrutiny, and every controversial moment generates stronger reactions.